What's up guys, Agile back here again, and today we are checking out a little bit of Valheim tips here that I'm gonna show you guys. I've been playing Valheim for a little bit now, and I got a couple things that I can go over with you guys here. Hopefully you guys learned something, see something that you didn't know already, and I'll try to spread some things out here for some basic tips and some advanced tips, but without further ado, let's roll into it. Okay guys, first tip I got for you here, pretty simple one. I know a lot of people struggle with it. I've seen a lot of people struggle with it. So the fact that trees falling actually cause you damage. So I'll try to cut this one down here. See if I can get in the way of it. See that? Doesn't do a lot of damage to me, partially because it just rolled off me most of it. If it falls directly over, it will do more damage to you. And if you're not wearing armor like I am, it may even kill you in the very early stages of the game. So be careful of that. It will also cause damage to any surrounding structures that you have. So let's say that I had a little base set up right here, and when that tree fell, if it hit it, it will cause some damage to it. Just be careful of that. Okay, tip number 2 here. Pretty simple one, but again, I haven't seen a lot of people cover it, so I just want to make sure you guys know. You can whack this stump here and it will do damage, but an easier way to do it is if you're using a mouse, of course. Middle mouse button, and he will swing directly down on it. It's also a good tip if you want to do that on your logs. There you go. That's a pretty simple one, but I haven't seen a lot of people cover it, and I wanted to make sure everybody knew about it. Alright guys, ignoring my mess here because I'm just on my creative world here so I can show you guys this stuff. Don't forget that you can actually use your workbench here to repair your tools. I don't know how many people I've seen, even if they have 200 hours in the game, just figure out that by hitting this little button right here, it says repair an item, you can repair your stuff. And yeah. It helps out a lot. It's all free, you don't have to have any materials, and you can repair your stuff. So pretty sweet. And like I said, I've seen a lot of people, even advanced people, not know that they can repair their stuff for free at a basic workbench. Okay guys, next tip is simple, maybe a little bit better for the newer players here. It's going to be just when you're first starting out, try building as close as you can to the water, or at least finding a good water source. There's a few reasons for this. First one that I find really helpful is that if you build near water, oftentimes there's all this flint laying right here that you can just pick up, and it'll help you out with crafting right away in the beginning. Another reason is that typically what I've found in my games is that the water will oftentimes, like I think this is just a lake, but a lot of times if you find a river, it will connect to one of the oceans, and that'll help you out for seafaring later. And you can also build a dock right here when you get going a little bit. I've also found that the terrain generally will slope down towards water, which is really good if you leave a little barrier of trees or something like that. And then, like say you cut down some of these, they should roll down and hit on stop, I guess stop on these trees, and then it will actually speed up your process a little bit. At least it does for me, because they're kind of all collecting one point. Especially if you have really steep terrain. This is pretty flat terrain here, but the last tip I have for building near the water here, why it's a good idea, I guess, is because the enemies, besides the necks there, generally won't bother you too much from the side of the water. So you kind of have a natural wall to your back there, or at least one side of where you're building at if you're built adjacent to the water. So sometimes when I'm building, something I like to do is when I first start out, I'll actually build, you know, my walls and stuff going around and actually just connect one side to the water. And sure, you'll have necks to deal with, but it doesn't take long for you to overpower them. And if you find a good area that doesn't have a lot of necks in it, it's super nice. Okay guys, next tip I got for you here, super simple one again. I feel like a lot of these are super simple, but they get overlooked because they're so simple. Obviously I haven't explored a lot, because again, I'm on my little creative world here where I just test things out. But anyway, actually marking your map is a possibility here. So if you're on mouse and keyboard, you just double left click you can select wherever you want. You could use any one of these symbols here, and then you just type in what you want. So like say that this is home or base here, hit enter, and it'll stay right there. And then if you say want to pin up here, say there's maybe there's a crypt up here, and you went up and you explored it and did it all, you could cross it off so that you'd know that that one was done. Or if you just want to remove it altogether, you just right click on it, and so you can mark out anything you want like that, and it will actually save it for you, and you can kind of navigate your world a lot better. So once you're like, say, you know, you're way up here and you've got, you know, base number whatever 25, and you want to know where that one's at, it's right up here, and you can mark resources like that, or specific areas that you want to maybe scout out later, or look to build something in the future at that spot. Guys, I just wanted to show you an example here that at night birds do land more and during storms, and with the bow of course you can shoot them, and understanding your arrow drop is probably the most important thing when shooting birds, because obviously you can't get too close, and they are actually pretty kind of glitchy, not gonna lie. So like this one here, they kind of bolt off, they can sometimes go in the ground, fly through, you know, objects randomly, so they're a little glitchy. But if you stay back far enough, or even you know, if you sneak up on them, or whatever you want to say, you can actually shoot them, and then it will give you feathers for that. So again, I've seen a lot of 150, 200 plus hour players not know that you can actually shoot the birds with your bow and arrow, and that they will land more at night, I guess evening hours, night, and then during storms, which there's storms quite often in this game. So yeah. Alright guys, next tip that I have for you here is if you come across a beehive, especially early game here, grab your bow out, pull your arrow back, shoot it, and then don't miss like I just did. Once it breaks there, you can actually run up to it here, and you can pick up some nice wonderful honey here. And honey is super useful here. It's sweet, tasty, as it says there, and it definitely helps out quite a bit, and you can actually use it in a few different ways for cooking and whatnot. So make sure you're grabbing your honey here. It's a nice resource to have right away in the beginning. One thing I wanted to mention too was shooting beehives. There is a chance that it will drop a queen bee here, so if you pick that up, it will actually add the beehive to your building recipes, which is super nice for the early game as well. So don't skip out on these abandoned structures. Plus they can also have chests like this in there, which can give you some easy resources right away in the beginning there. But yeah, they have a chance to drop queen bees, so make sure that you don't overlook them when you're grabbing the honey as well, because then you can make beehives for yourself. Alright guys, another tip I got for you, it's a super simple one, but I see advanced players doing it all the time, is running past basic ingredients like these mushrooms here. They may just be, you know, really simple, and you might not need them a ton in the later game, but even like these simple mushrooms here, you know, just simply using them like that, again, plus 15 health, plus 15 stamina, again, it's not a ton, but it might just end up, you know, saving your life in a dire situation. Plus you can never have too much of the basic raw ingredients like that, so just make sure when you're running by, you know, things like the mushrooms, the berries, all that stuff, that you're grabbing those as much as you can. I know that it gets overlooked quite a bit, and I just want to make sure to point that out to you guys so that you're not forgetting to grab that stuff, and it could save your life in a pinch, especially against in a boss fight or something like that, that you just have a nice reserve stack of the basic ingredients like that if need be in a pinch. But anyways guys, that is going to be it for this tips and tricks video here today for Valheim. If you guys like Valheim tips, if you want to see some more stuff, Leave me some likes, drop some comments down below if you guys know other tips and tricks for Valheim that other people might not know, or you see other players overlooking or something like that. Something might be good information for someone else, even if it seems dumb. I mean, things like the crafting table might be pretty obvious for repairing items to other players, but again, I've seen, you know, and heard of 200+ hour players that have overlooked that feature. So drop your comments down below. Let other people know some of that knowledge and help out the community here, especially in an awesome game like Valheim here. And don't forget to like and subscribe to this video here if you want to see some more. Thanks, guys. We'll catch you in the next one.